Broncos country, Broncos country. It was a wild one. It was, I don't know how else to explain it. 21-17 victory. Denver Broncos over the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. This is the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We're going to be doing a film review of just what went down in Philly right about now. Welcome in, everybody, at the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Of course, we have an amazing sponsor named Morgan Trinkets. More about them later. Right now, I've been celebrating a victory like no other over the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know about all of you out there, but, man, you got to celebrate those type of wins, and it feels good. Feels good to take down a real team, quote unquote, a team that has a winning record. We're going to be going over the film review. When I say we, I got my good friend Jody, the Judge Moncrief. How you doing, Judge?
Doing good. Big win Sunday shows we can play with any team. You know, you just beat the defending champs at their home and did it in the fourth quarter when it counted. You made clutch plays. Bo Nix was as clutch as could be the whole second half, 14 for 18. No turnovers, one touchdown. All in all, you know, good game, and hopefully that can springboard you. These next 5 games are key because you should be favored in all of them.
Yeah. I actually put an article out about getting hot at the right time. Denver Broncos wanted to get off to a fast start, Jody. I don't necessarily think they got off to a fast start as far as the win-loss record is concerned. I did like how the broadcast pointed out the fact that we hadn't trailed in the fourth quarter coming into this game, because every single game we lost was with zeros on the clock as a field goal went through the uprights and we lost the game. So tight games that could have went either way. But regardless, not a fast start, but, you know, seem to be getting hot at the right time when you take down the Super Bowl champs, man. That's a feather in your cap right there, my friend.
Yes, and the way you did it, you know, Sean Payton had big onions to go for 2, but I love the call. I'm glad you were going to get the ball back, in my opinion, whether you don't get it. So he had faith that if they don't get it, you can score again. And you did it on Philly's home turf, you know, a place you hadn't won in since like 86 with Elway. So
listen to the historian, the Judge, coming out here with the stats, man. I didn't realize it had been that long. It hasn't been that long since we said hello to the posse. We'd say hello on Wednesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then we also had the Morning Juice. Morning Juice was on Monday, 7 a.m. Ernie was there as well. And then, of course, we have the post-game show. Ernie, I didn't even say that. Go Broncos country only. Hello, Keith and friends, says Mr. Ernie Mays. Judge, it wasn't necessarily the cleanest game. I pointed out a couple of times, I don't think this refereeing crew is necessarily going to be in the Super Bowl, just based off this performance alone. I was surprised, and one thing I don't have any film review on was the fact that JL Skinner didn't lose us the game as we went down the stretch, because he was getting pretty handsy in the closing moments, and that's the one time the refs decided not to throw a lot of laundry, as they seemed like they were throwing it all day long and picking it back up. And sometimes it's a penalty and sometimes it's not. Sean Payton was pretty hot about that at one point. But like you said, outside of that, maybe some JL Skinner. I don't know if he's going to necessarily hit the field anytime again soon, or he's certainly going to have some coaching between now and then. But besides that, man, a great way to wrap up a game in the fourth quarter. You know, they put it all out on the line trying to get it back, but did fall short, and the Broncos come away with the 21-17 victory, improved to 3-2, and now we got to get into some of this film review and want to really start breaking down the bad and the good. The nice thing is I only have a little bit of bad, Jody, so we can get into the good here pretty quickly. We got Riley Moss, Marvin Mims, PS2. Which way do you want to go first, my friend?
We can get Riley Moss out of the way because I know a lot of people are going to want to bash him for giving up that play to Devontae Smith. So,
hey, you know, I got to say before we break into this, I was a Devontae Smith fan when he was coming out. Loved the player, and quite honestly, he probably by far had the best performance on the field of any Philadelphia Eagle offensive player. He was causing issues, causing problems, and earning his keep, I guess you could say. Really quick, Clayton says, hey, guys, smash that, like, and share. Don't forget about that, man. We love and appreciate all the love and appreciation you've shown us. We've been growing big. But let's break into some Riley Moss here real quick, buddy. Rewind the tape here as quick as I possibly can. So here we are, buddy. One of the things that Riley Moss talked about, I'll get Clayton's comment off here real quick as well, was the fact that he knew that he made a mistake here. He tried to come up and press, didn't get hands on him. Devontae Smith is fast, dude. He gets past him, and it's simple as that, man. At least he was good enough to catch up to him and bring him down before it was a touchdown right there.
Yeah, he's another T. Higgins where he could be a number one for probably 2/3 of the NFL teams. So, like we said before, Moss is going to get tested a lot because of who's on the other side. And he just got beat by a dude that is one of the best receivers in football. I mean, he's a Heisman Trophy winner, and he's one of the best. So it happens.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of looking, though. There is a window up at the top probably for A.J. Brown as well, as he got past the corner. Safeties kind of trying to come across already as Hurts is looking off to his right there. There's an opportunity there to go out wide up there to the top. Just as bad maybe on PS2 as it could have been on Riley Moss in that particular instance. But, man, after this, man, it was a big cleanup effort. You know, they got tight. They got tight pretty quick. Got to say, you know, this is some of those tight calls, though. This is the pass interference call on PS2. And, yeah, I know if you look at it and you get real tight in on the window, you'll see he's, you know, got some shoulder pad. But, you know, I've seen worse. I've certainly seen worse. And, you know, but, you know, hey, flags go both ways.
Hand fighting both ways, and like you said, this officiating crew was not good. It was actually horrible, in my opinion. So it is, you know, it is what it is. They say throw it up like that and make the ref make a call, which I hate seeing like that, especially two guys battling like that. But
yeah, yep. There's, you know, but it is right in front of the ref. You know, they replayed it. It was a good call. I don't want it, but, you know, it happens sometimes, man. It happens sometimes. Last one, man. Last beat up on the Denver Broncos that we'll have for any tape. I'm sure the coaches had more to talk about than we'll have to talk about, Jody. But this is one that I know live in the back chat that we have during the game. You were not happy about this particular play call. This was when things were getting down to the nitty gritty, and you're starting to need some plays. And you thought Marvin Mims had a chance on this particular pass. And I'm going to go ahead and roll the footage here. Obviously, Bo Nix sat in a pretty good pocket most of the entire game. This is one of those instances when he's rolling out and has that opportunity to fire it down the field. How close is that, buddy?
It's close. I mean, Bo Nix has hit a lot of those throwing like that, so I don't think that's ever going to change. It's one where when he gets around the first edge rusher, I wish he'd have just planted and thrown it. I mean, he probably would have got lit up a little bit more, but he might have got a little bit more on. Once he gets around 58, right there, stop and just plant. And he could get set. But that ball hits Marvin Mims in the hands, and that's two. You can go back to the Charger game. That's two that are right off his hands that you don't really see like a diving effort or any extra effort for it. I mean, he's falling down, but it's because he's bending. And I only say that just because it's right there. If he just, even slides like Sutton will do a lot of the time, slide and just make sure he gets the catch. And I bring that up only because later in this game, you'll see Sutton. He Nix threw one, a little short slant pattern that's way behind him, and he reaches way out, and it puts his body on the line to go get it. So,
yeah. The one thing I should probably do is I should always probably put these in order of where I actually want them, or order of the game. I should number these guys so that it's like, hey, this is what happened throughout the game. I'll go ahead and I'm going to pull these off the studio real quick. We'll get some new ones in here, bud. Some new video in here. I got limitations on what I can pull. So,
but those are plays right there that, we're close. And for everyone that keeps saying we need a new play caller, we need this, that, I don't agree with that. Those plays are close. Just like you can go back to the Chargers games, just hit a couple of those deep passes and you beat the Chargers by double digits. You hit that play, you're scoring. You're in scoring range there. Whether you get 7 or 3, you're still in scoring range. So, it's close, and miss them now because when it comes time towards the playoffs, I want to be connecting on those.
You brought it up, so I'll just go ahead and I'm gonna grab this stab by Sutton over the middle. This was an amazing, and this is, I've been tough on Courtland Sutton in the past. I've doubted his number one ability. He's been putting on a show so far this season, man. He's been ripping down balls at times, and ones like this, man. This is one that just, I don't know if Bo Nix is trying to lead him in a particular direction, or if he's just a little bit off in this throw. But as Courtland Sutton comes out, or maybe
No, that's the Ingram catch.
Yeah.
But that's Ingram. In the behind the scenes, we were talking who's the new guy.
Yeah.
And Nix, he put it on Ingram on this throw. He steps up, and one thing I've noticed too, and they call it out, when he's in shotgun, he takes too many steps back, in my opinion, because the tackles are trying to push the guy around him. He needs to not take so many back, in my opinion, because that's causing him to almost want to run up in the pocket because of where the tackles are pushing that guy. But there, he had a great pocket. He knew where he wanted to go with the ball. He stepped up, he set his feet, and threw a strike to Ingram.
Yeah, sorry, had that one mislabeled as a Sutton throw, but that Ingram stab was just amazing to me, man. I thought.
But if they can get him going, and he don't need 8, 9, 10 catches a game, but he had like 4 or 5 in this game, and they were big catches. If he can do that right there, that will open a lot of things for other players.
Agreed, my friend. Evan Ingram, the new guy, as we were talking about in the back chat, it just seemed like, hey, we hadn't seen much of Evan Ingram, and we didn't see much of Evan Ingram to start this game. But he ended up coming on hotter as the game went on and came up with some big plays, that one included. I got to pull up another slide here, buddy. Let's see. We'll go this one right here because these all automatically queue up. This is a big catch up the middle. I believe this might be our Cortland Sutton catch that I was talking about right here. Trying to remember all the specifics, man. They ran a lot of similar structure, which was good to be running out of almost all game long, buddy. But look at that, and then the continuation.
Right there, that's a game changer. I mean, they just got that bogus pass interference call that I didn't agree with one bit. I mean, what was Pat Bryant to do? He turned around and the receiver ran into him. That's
God,
yes. And it pushed him back. And you could hear Romo, are they just going to try to put themselves in field goal range, or are they going to go for it? And I mean, he led Sutton right away from the defender right there, where he could, like exactly like he did, just turn right up and go. And I've been on this for a while. I don't know what everyone's definition of a number one wide receiver is, but Cortland Sutton, in my opinion, is a number one wide receiver. I don't care that. Are there better wide receivers out there? Probably. Is he a Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson? No. But he's an incredible wide receiver who will make those tough catches like that right there. And Bo has all of the trust in the world with him, and that's why I'm glad he's back, because I didn't want to see any of that disrupted.
What I like, honestly, is Bo Nix continues to go out there and prove that arm talent is not a question. Throwing from the 45 here all the way down past to the 30, that's a 35-yard strike. Like a laser right down the field. To put it into position exactly where you need to be. And like you said, gives the opportunity. I mean, nice turn up the field by Cortland Sutton. Makes that defender miss, goes to the outside, covering up the ball, making sure we don't have any turnovers, making sure that Keith doesn't show off all his telephone information.
But that throw right there is just proof. When he sets feet and he throws the ball, he can make all the throws. Can he throw it 100 yards like Justin Herbert or Josh Allen? Probably not, but he doesn't have to, and he doesn't need to, and that's not required. Those are the throws that are in Sean Payton's play calls, and he can make those throws all day. So, and I want to give credit. You look at the O-line here. I mean,
that's what I was just looking at.
There's no one around him. I think I don't know if this is. I'd have to go back and count, because I think they said 11 plays Ben Powers played with the torn biceps. If this is
within
there, whatever. I mean, look at him. He's one-on-one with a dominant defensive lineman, and he's blocking him with a torn bicep. So props to this O-line that people keep wanting to. We got to upgrade. Is Wattenberg the best center? Is Ben Powers the best left guard? Maybe not, but you can sure do a heck of a lot worse. So,
now I'm adding stuff I don't want to. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jody. Man, this offensive line. Sometimes it's not about how good they are individually. It's how they play as a group. And this group seems to play so well together. They communicate well together. They understand the offense. I'm going to go a different direction, man, because I don't think we've talked enough about this free agent. We're all waiting for Dre Greenlaw to take the field, hopefully soon, fingers crossed. But Talanoa Hufanga, man, has been a menace. Absolute menace, man. And this is just one of those plays where you see Hufanga be a menace. Just want to point out, man, start this play, they're basically playing Hufanga up. He looks like almost like a third linebacker. You got 4-man front, and he starts to cheat up on this backside for Jalen Hurts, his his weak side, I guess you could say. And he just goes right at the snap count. You got a pulling guard. That's not helping anything. The tackle's left out there on his lonesome as he's probably dealing with Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe, one of the two. Hufanga
Well,
just
it looks like their left tackle's blocking Jonah Ellis.
Jonah Ellis. There you go. That's who. Yeah, Jonah Ellis. That's who. I was like, that's not either one. Jonathan Cooper, and just rushes this throw. Could have been a play there, but this is the type of effort that we've been seeing from Hufanga every single game, and just has not gotten enough credit for just the wild guy that he plays as. He's got a little bit of a free reign, I think, back there. If he sees it, he's going. And on this one, he was going and blew up this opportunity. You see the crosser coming over the middle there, about 5 yards deep. Probably Dallas Goedert, maybe Devontae Smith. Either way, no play because of Hufanga here, and just love what he's been doing as of lately, man.
And that's why I was on the fence with, do we want to play a lot of zone, because that's what Jalen Hurts has been bad at all year.
Mm-hmm.
But I finally came to the conclusion, don't change up what you do best. We seen it in the Baltimore game last year. You changed everything up and they just tore you apart. If you're going to lose doing what you do best. And so I applaud VJ for, keep bringing the blitz when you need to and getting pressure.
I'll queue up one more, everybody. And this is just another Hufanga here. Doing Hufanga things. This is that one of those ones, sends the guy in motion. Hufanga's right there. He's kind of delayed off the edge, comes right up. And this is where talk about wanting one back, man. Should have had an interception there as he blitzed up the middle.
Yeah, that's a pick six right there.
That's a pick six. It's a pick six, but he crosses up on the outside edge rusher, goes to back onto the inside. Just understands what's going on the football field, and he's fast. He's quick to the play. Gets his arms up, elevated, man. That guy elevated. If I wish I would have had the other view like they showed on the broadcast, but that guy got up. The guy got up for this play. Hufanga's one of the key pieces right now in this defense, in my opinion. When he's playing like this, everything else behind doesn't matter anymore. And he has the ability to do this on multiple plays. Talanoa Hufanga is quietly a bigger part of this defense than I think a lot of people give credit for.
Oh, he's been an incredible pickup. He's been, till we see Greenlaw, has been by far the best pickup we've had on defense. I don't want to say best overall because we have a running back on offense that's been balling out as well. But between those two, they've been the two best pickups, in the offseason. And I'm glad he's on our team because he's made a lot of big plays.
Good friend Peter Johnson over on Facebook says, I lost hope at the moment when Hufanga dropped that. I thought that was our moment, and he lost it, and he was crying, man. Hey, there was a lot of moments in here where it was kind of back and forth, touch and go. Obviously, we talked about a 2-point conversion. We'll probably bring that up here in a second as well. But since you were talking about, J.K. Dobbins, maybe we should pull a little J.K. Dobbins here for you, buddy. J.K. Dobbins had a good game all the way around. And I don't have enough J.K. Dobbins tape in here. Honestly, I was also trying to make sure. It seemed like last episode when we came in on last Wednesday, we had a bunch of offensive plays and not a whole lot of defensive plays. So maybe I tried to overcompensate a little bit as far as that's concerned as well. Dobbins. I want to bring this one up first. I want to bring this one up first, though, buddy. This is the one that you were talking about in the chat where he had just had enough.
I mean, he's a very patient runner, but you could see he could have let that strung out and got nothing, and he finally just put his head down and he outran McGlinchey and just whatever he picked up there, 5-6 yards.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Very, very patient runner. We've seen that. We saw that last week. We talked about his big cutbacks that he had last week, his patience behind the line. But this week, you like you said, he could sit there and wait, but you see that defense is just they're gaining. They're
I
coming
mean, he had a
downhill.
convoy towards the outside. The problem was he was going towards the boundary. I mean, and you could see it. I mean, it looks like everyone's about to get blocked up, but all they got to do is get him out of bounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he noticed that and just he put his foot in the ground and just lowered his shoulders and picked up what he could get.
Yeah, picked up 5 or 6 if I remember correctly. J.K. Dobbins, man, you said it, man. I was wondering who's going to be our rookie of the year if we had to call one out. I was asking that off to the side, but our free agent of the year. That would be an interesting little run on a trophy right now as Evan Ingram's starting to elevate himself a little bit. J.K. Dobbins has really secured himself as being the number one back. Dre Greenlaw's around the corner coming in. It could be an interesting run for who's the free agent of the year for the Denver
It's
Broncos.
Yeah, it's definitely on the offense Dobbins for me because it's the same old line as last year, and there were holes that Javonte missed because he just wants to lower his head and go. Now I've heard people say, "Well, look what he's doing in Dallas." I mean, that's fine, but it's apples and oranges to me. J.K. Dobbins is patient, and he even when there's not a hole there, he makes something out of it, and that's what I love. Sean Payton is going to have to be smart with J.K. Dobbins because he's never finished the whole season, so he's going to have to be smart with him because I mean he's the key to this offense, and we got to have him come playoff time.
Yeah, you're right. I hesitate to be smart with any particular player. I don't like the idea of saving in some ways. I like what Sean Payton has done. He's given these guys runs at series rather than back and forth per play. J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey. We're at least getting full series in most regard, and that I think that's helped this run game and helped especially a guy like J.K. Dobbins.
And that's what I mean being smart. One, like you said, I don't like the run it for a couple times and then you're out, and then run it for a couple times and you're out. I don't like that. But I also don't want him to be like a Terrell Davis and he's getting 40 carries a game
Mm-hmm.
until if he finishes until he proves that he can finish a full season. But you got to use him when you got to use him, and that was the best. I mean, there were runs and stuff, but that was the best thing that I seen from Peyton is he got him 20 carries in this game. He didn't even when we were down 14, he didn't abandon the run, and that's what's been key. And multiple people, Bo Nix has said it, multiple other guys have said it. That's where it all starts because in the past, when Denver's going to throw on you, you can play 6-7 back and come get us, Bo Nix. Just like in the first game with the Titans, they just said, Bo, you're going to throw it outside and beat us. We're not scared of the run game. Now play us again, Titans, and let us run the ball 30 times and see what you think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to get another running play in here. This one is not by J.K. Dobbins or R.J. Harvey. This is something that we asked for a little bit in our preview to this game, and that's Bo Nix using his legs when he needs to. Bo Nix out there pump faking. Bo Nix out there, making guys miss. Bo Nix, in my opinion, really getting the first down, even though I think they might have marked him short on this particular one. He had to do the quarterback sneak in order to pick up the first down. But this is just another piece of Bo Nix's game that I think needs to be exploited, and especially as we get into the playoffs and start making the runs, you need to play all 11 men, and every guy needs to be formidable if you're going to go ahead and take those next steps, man. And this is also another piece that just kept the Philadelphia Eagles kind of on their heels. Now they're having to concern themselves with one more runner, and that's Bo Nix.
The only thing I wonder is why he bailed so quickly, because that pocket's nice. Step up into it, let it develop. Unless he just saw a lot of green grass right away and said, "I'm going for it," which I'm fine with. And what I like about when he runs, he's smart with it. He gets the yards he needs and then gets down. He doesn't try to really fight for extra yards, unneeded yards, and he knows not to take big shots.
Mm-hmm. Agreed, man. But this was a big key moment, I thought, in the game, just to show another piece of the Denver Broncos offense that I think can be exploited, like I said. And I love this part of Bo Nix's game. I don't think that it's necessarily Sean Payton is going to try to highlight any particular time soon, but it's in the bag. It's in the bag for him to use.
And the thing is, he knocks 2 or 3 or 4 of those out of game. At some point, teams are going to say they're going to have to give him the Lamar treatment where they throw a spy on him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even better for Denver because that's one less guy out in the route. And the way this whole line's blocking, that just is one less guy covering wide receivers and allows Bo Nix to pick and choose where he wants to throw the football.
Peter Johnson, kind of getting back to when we were talking about J.K. Dobbins just outrunning his blockers. He says, hey, good running backs take what they can get instead of trying to always make the big play happen. Yeah, that was a great instance maybe where, you can try to get your blockers all aligned. But like you said, the likelihood that was going to happen is he's going to get pushed to the sidelines and he's going to get 1 to 2 yards at best. Instead, he cuts it up the middle, runs past his guys, gets 4 to 6 yards, and move the chains a little bit. Get that second and short or that third and short when you possibly can, because that's when this offense really starts to get to humming like most. Ernie May's coming in here saying, don't forget to mention Pearl and her jewelry. You know what he's talking about? He's talking about Morgan Trinkets, our sponsor, and your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices for over 34 years. They were once a nationwide company. Now they hang out in your backyard if you're hanging out in northern Colorado or in southern Wyoming, because that's where she does an absolute ton of shows. But it's not the only place you can find Morgan Trinkets. One, I'll come up with a graphic, but she has just come up with an eBay store. Morgan Trinkets is now on eBay. Check out that if you're an eBay lover. But also the OG, where she started selling online, right over there on Etsy. And you can type in Morgan Trinkets Co. over there as well. Like I said, Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices. Silver, sterling silver, 100% sterling silver. I know we're over on Etsy. All orders over $50 are shipped absolutely free, and all major credit cards are accepted. I know that's the fact over there on eBay as well. So look at her. She's saying, I just posted more. I just posted 2 more pieces today, and she's just sold one 5 minutes ago. So that's how amazing the deals are over there at Morgan Trinkets. You got to get over there. You got to get over there quick, and you got to get your deals before they're gone. Check out Morgan Trinkets over there on eBay, over there on Etsy, and certainly if they're out of your local fairgrounds or there's a dog show, a gem show, something going on, check out if Morgan Trinkets is there. We'd appreciate it. They appreciate it as well. All right, back to the football, man. Back to the football, and plenty of more football that we could end up talking about. Got to start talking about it. This is one of the things I wanted to get to. When the running game gets going, man, other things open up, man. And this wasn't a big play, but it's a big enough play. J.K. Dobbins is a big enough threat that when you get a good fake to him, I mean, look at that offensive line and look at that defensive line just run downhill. All the linebackers committing.
Yep, look at the flow there.
Look at the flow. All the linebackers, they're all going after J.K. Dobbins. Opens up Troutman on the backside, gets us out from the back of our end zone. Troutman's able to pick up a first down. I mean, this is what a good running game, and this is part of what we didn't see at the very beginning of the year, Jody. This wasn't open. This wasn't available. They weren't respecting this. You weren't seeing that flow from the linebackers. It was not open like this in prior games, especially to start the season. Now that running game's going, this is the type of thing that you get.
Yeah, I agree. This is why running the ball is so important. It allows so many different things that we didn't have last year. The play action that we did last year, teams didn't believe in that because we wouldn't run the football.
100%, man. It's changed. Funny enough, Javonte Williams has obviously changed as he's going crazy down in Dallas. We'll be able to match up against him in the near future. But right now with the run game going, a lot of things open up. Might as well get to a touchdown, buddy. This Evan Ingram touchdown, I don't know really. I mean, it's good vision, I think, from Bo Nix. It's certainly an amazing strike laser that he like laces in there. And then the continuing effort from Evan Ingram to get in the touchdown, get in the end zone and get the touchdown kind of speaks for itself. But let's hit this really quick, and then I got to hit the posse again as well. So,
and it shows Bo's growth and development that it's not one read and just run the football. He planted right there. First read's not open, and if you look right there, Ingram's wide open right there. He sat down just like he's supposed to. And look at how Nix, he let him so he could turn upfield away from the defender. It's a great throw and great effort by Ingram to get in the end zone.
Yeah, you're right. The settle by Ingram is key on this one, man. He's helping out his quarterback fantastically as everything's flowing, and then all of a sudden, like you said, Evans he settles. Good lead, man. Good breakdown of that call, man. That was
and I like Bo right there. He's like I called out in the last one, not setting his feet on that throw to Mims. The throw's not open right away where he wanted to go. Plant your foot and throw it.
Yeah. As bang as this happened, it seemed like it was a tighter window, but he knew where his guy was, and man, just like you said, bang, get upfield, get in the end zone. I mean, good on Evan Ingram as well, man. And then that layout, obviously don't have a good view of that here, but all around, just it seemed like everything was coming together. Everything was gelling about that time. Phil McLaughlin coming in. He says, "Good evening, Keith and the judge. Great to see Bonito finally getting some national recognition. Ain't that the truth, my friend? When you're leading in sacks and leading in pressures and stuff like that, I guess they have no choice. But Bonito's certainly getting that love." He says it's going to be nice to get Roach back, and maybe we see Ingram light it up next week. You talked about that, man, a little bit. Getting Malcolm Roach back. Obviously that can't hurt Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito's been on a tear, but what does getting Malcolm Roach do for this defense, in your opinion?
Well, it does two things. He's your best run stopping defensive lineman, and he's really the only true nose tackle you have. I mean, DJ Jones starts there, but he's not a true nose. He plays better outside. So, yeah, I mean, it does a lot. I don't expect for him. I'm sure he's going to be on a pitch count, and there's no need to just rush him out there. But getting back in the flow is great. It also allows other guys to, get a little rest. And maybe that will help Allen. Allen hadn't. I mean, he's been solid, but he hadn't put up the numbers like he did last year.
Hmm.
Maybe getting another guy back like this will take some of the pressure because he's getting a lot of double teams. Will take some of the pressure off of him.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I love Malcolm Roach in the middle. I love DJ Jones shifting to the side when they're both on the field together. And I love Phil McLaughlin because he's also dropped 100 stars when he came in with that comment. I don't think I mentioned that well as I read that off. Thank you so much, Phil, man. Big time supporter. Evan Ingram lighting it up next week. Well, maybe, because quite honestly, I don't know if the Jets are. I don't want to overlook them. I don't want this to be a get me type of game. But the Jets are a team that we should be able to handle. And why not Evan Ingram? It could be him, could be just about anybody. We'll be breaking it down on Friday. But what are your thoughts? Do you think this is a progression for Evan Ingram? What he did, especially in the second half of the Philadelphia game, and then heading off to London to face the Jets? Does he continue his ascension for the Denver Broncos?
Yeah, I just want to see him get more involved. He has been week by week. He's staying on the field. He's getting more snaps, and that just opens up so much stuff because it's another. It's another. I mean, he's listed as tight end, but it's another wide receiver for Bo Nix to throw the ball to, and it's another guy that they're going to have to take serious and cover. I don't know how serious teams take Adam Troutman. I mean, Denver always seems to design one or two plays a game to get him the ball on rollouts or certain things, but this is a guy that you're now going to have to cover all over the field. And when he makes incredible catches like he did that seam route that Nix threw him, went up high and stretches out like that, I mean, teams now are it's a serious threat and it's going to be big. And there's a lot, and that's also there's probably a lot of plays that are just waiting for him to get out there and get fully integrated back into this offense. So it just opens up a lot of things, and it probably will take some pressure off of Sutton.
That would be nice. I think that Sutton's been looking for that for a while. Let's hit this one, man. I want to hit. I don't know why that was giving me an issue there for a second. We get the touchdown. Might as well go for the 2-point conversion. I was okay with this, man. I know a lot of people were trepidatious about this. There was over 7 minutes left to go. The way we were playing this team, I thought, man, if we didn't get it here, we still had opportunity to put points back on the board. Still had opportunity to shut down Jalen Hurts and the way we had been. And why not, man? It's the Super Bowl champs. It's the undefeated team. You got to take some risks sometimes. Sometimes a 2-point conversion is exactly what the doctor ordered.
I love the call. As soon as they scored, I was saying go for two. There was what I loved about it is the amount of time left on the clock because there was really no, in my opinion, way Philly was going to go bust out a 7.5 minute drive and keep you from getting the ball, not the way your defense is playing. So if Philly goes down and scores, so what? You go score and you either win with a touchdown or you tie it up with a. I said that you either tie it up with a touchdown or you win it with a field goal, whatever you got to do. And so he had confidence, he had confidence in both sides. And so really, I don't think it was, as big of onions as everyone wants to say he had. He just, they were feeling it. And like Sean Payton said in the press conference, they had a handful of plays that they felt confident in and they went with it. So
The one thing I kept looking at here, man, and maybe it looked funny to begin with. I wonder if J.K. Dobbins is just like, I know what's coming. I'm not even gonna go to the right side for the correct ball fake. I gotta get coverage. I gotta block this guy so we can get this play off because J.K. as Bo Nix comes off to his left, J.K. Dobbins is going right, and he goes right to block that guy.
yep.
Opens it up completely. And the one thing that you were pointing out, man, who's coming open in the back?
Sutton's coming right there. I mean, if Nick sets right there, pocket's clean, you can see Sutton. He's coming open. But what I love about this play is it shows the development and the trust that they have in Troy Franklin. I mean, this is the most important play of the game. Either you're going to take the lead or you're going to be down one, and they're trusting Troy Franklin to get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from where he was last year, not seeing the field because he couldn't catch the ball, to where he is now, the growth is incredible. And like we said behind scenes, I think there's no debate who's your number two wide receiver. It's Troy Franklin.
Mm.
Marvin Mims is a gadget guy that can do different things, but Troy Franklin is your number two wide receiver.
It sure feels the way. I mean, we didn't know to start the season, man. I even put a poll out there. Who's our number two wide receiver? Is it Evan Ingram? Is it Marvin Mims? Is it Troy Franklin? You know, is it by committee? I thought it was going to be a by committee type of situation, but I think the more and more this plays out, the more and more that Troy Franklin should be that number two, that go-to guy. Like you said, Marvin Mims has a very unique skill set, and you can exploit defenses utilizing him the right way. Evan Ingram has a very unique skill set for his position, and you can exploit defenses. But as far as a number two, like a number two wide receiver, it's got to be Troy Franklin at this point. Continue your ascension, young man, because you're looking pretty good out there. And I like what he's putting out in this year two as far as the tape is concerned.
Yeah, I agree. The growth that he's taken from year one to year two is incredible. And I mean, if he can continue on that path, that's just another weapon that teams have to fear and cover. So
let's give Bonito a little bit more coverage since he's starting to pick some up, and talk about a Nick Bonito sack here. I love this one because it talks about the effort. He kind of works outside to inside. I don't know if it was necessarily designed this way, but the effort is there, and he continues his motor, and he takes out Jalen Hurts in a big play. Nick Bonito just continues to stack up sacks, buddy.
yeah, he's leading the NFL in sacks. I think he's number one in pressure rate. Jonathan Cooper number two. He's probably, in my opinion, probably the leader for Defensive Player of the Year right now. I know it's early, but he just has that. You don't see it on this play, but he just has that trait of some pass rushers win like he won here just with effort and things. But when he wants to get off the ball, he can just run around a tackle when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a rare trait for a lot of pass rushers.
Two things on this play that I want to point out. A, when you tackle Jalen Hurts, you need to make sure you tackle Jalen Hurts. I've seen him run out of too many sacks, and that wasn't going to happen in this one. Not the way that he was just brought down by Nick Bonito. Second off, 64 and I believe it's 68 here are trying to pass off. Obviously, the outside edge rusher is crashing in, Nick Bonito, but then another guy jumps out, so 68 does, and 64 just lets Nick Bonito go right up the middle. And the conversation is like right there at the end. It's like, man, you got the inside, man. My bad. Yep. Missed it right there, and it cost him big. It was just another Nick Bonito play.
With bringing pressure like this, it's important. If you watch that play, the running back, I think it's Will Shipley, he's kind of squared out and he's kind of wide open. If you watch 28, I mean, there's no one with him, but the pressure's there right away in his face. And that's what I love about this defense. That's why was never a fan of how Vic played defense. This bend don't break. Denver is
aggressive.
They're going to be aggressive, and that's why they lead the NFL in sacks. Last year, that's why they're leading it this year. And some of the stuff with the running backs, that's fine. You're going to get if reports are true, you should see him in the Giants game, and he is probably one of the best linebackers in football, and I think that will solve a lot of those problems. So reinforcements are coming. Just keep doing what you're doing on defense because it's working. I mean, they had Jalen Hurts. He's afraid to, run. He's running himself out of bounds, self-sacking basically. That's what pressure does.
This is a look that I saw a ton of, man. And they did play zone, man. I know that you earlier were saying, hey, they didn't need to get out of what they did the best, but they did play some zone. And when they did, they gave looks like this, where you're just looks like you're bringing the house, but you're not bringing the house, man. You'll see the play snap call, and they did this multiple times. The bailouts that happen across the board. This one ended up in a sack as well. Hufanga ends up overshooting him. It's okay. Jaquan McMillan is there, man. Gets the sack on Jalen Hurts. Just causing confusion. And I thought that was one of the things that we could do versus Jalen Hurts was cause some confusion and make him press a little bit.
And that's what I think after that Baltimore game last year that they realized. I mean, they just sat in zone the whole game and were scared of Lamar Jackson, and he just tore them apart. Now we're going to do what we do best. We'll switch some things up. And I mean, you had to play zone because the numbers were horrible, Jalen Hurts in zone, but you got to do what you do. And that's why you had 7 sacks in this game.
Yeah, only have a couple of them here for you, buddy. But like you said, some self-sacking going on and the like. This was one of those ones that I just you just got done talking about it. Not a Vic Fangio, but a Vance Joseph style of defense. Let's go up here. Let's cause confusion. Let's have everyone at the line. And then look at the bailout, man. I mean, you have guys like Nick Benito bailing out at times and causing confusion, bringing guys like McMillan, bringing guys like Hufanga, and taking down a Super Bowl champ. You know what I mean? That's what we need to do. Pearl, I'm sorry if we're having trouble over on Facebook or over on YouTube. Looks like Facebook is running pretty well. Phil McLaughlin did also come in. He wants to get Pat Bryant on the field more. He can catch, and he is a great blocker. I will say I didn't look at snap counts. Maybe I should have done that rather than getting all the video lined up. Pat Bryant was on the field a lot in this game. Now, he may not have gotten a whole lot of targets in this game, but I think that Pat Bryant, no block, no rock, they're taking advantage of that no block right now from Pat Bryant, and he's getting his run out of there on the field. His opportunities, I feel, will come again.
Yeah, he'll get his. He'll get his. It's just going to be slow, and I mean, they're getting a lot of plays to Sutton, obviously, and they're trying to get Ingram to come along, so they're getting him more acclimated in this offense. And there's just not enough balls to go around. It's one of the reasons that I like Devon Bailey, but it was one of the reasons I supported that trade, especially what you got out of it. But it was one less guy that you're trying to feed the ball to. And that's, when you have six B wide receivers, you don't have any wide receivers, or however the saying goes, when you have 3 quarterbacks, you don't have one. So, they've made a commitment. We're going to develop Troy Franklin, and I like that. Pat Bryant will get his when the time comes. He'll make big plays.
Last one of the night, man. Nothing super special. Pitch to RJ Harvey. Like you said, J.K. Dobbins has got to get his rest. We want to keep him for the entire year. They've been switching off in series. J.K. Dobbins has his style. He's going to be able to cut it up the field, see a hole and go. But RJ Harvey has got a little bit of speed. I would have loved to see more of a replay on this one because he can take the corner about as quick as anybody. And I thought he got a little bit more than what they gave him credit for maybe here, but now upon maybe further review, yeah, he got about 6 yards out of it. But excited to see more of RJ Harvey. We just got done talking about Pat Bryant, but RJ Harvey is a guy that I think can be a difference maker on this team as well. And this was just one play from RJ Harvey that, again, not the biggest play, but at the same time keeps that running game going that we're expecting and needing.
And look right there at the bottom, and I can't see who that is. But that's a wide. I can't see the number. But that's a wide receiver blocking number. I think it's Blankenship. I mean, that's a wide receiver blocking, and that's what's been key. I can't tell if that's Brian or Sherfield or it's Pat Bryan. I think number 13.
Pat Bryant. There's our guy, number
and
13.
And that's where I don't want to see Pat Bryant get discouraged because he's not getting a ton of reps. It's not Brian. It's right.
Yeah.
It must be Sherfield, but I don't want to see these guys get discouraged because they're not getting the ball. Just keep doing that because that's an overlooked part of this that's making this run game really efficient.
Yeah, you're right. I think it is Sherfield that's pushing that guy further back into the backfield, clearing that route for RJ Harvey to get up the sidelines. Man, another good film session, buddy. What do you take from a game like this, man? A game which the officiating crew has probably had their hands in it a little bit too much. But I'll just say one thing. One thing that I saw is continued progression and from key individuals. But what do you take from this game, Judge?
It's a how did Jim Nantz work? There's your Broncos signature win. We all heard the stat. What are they, 1-11 or whatever the stat is against teams with winning records? I think the only team we beat's Tampa Bay. If you don't count the Chiefs playing their backups week 17 last year, week 18. So, I mean, it's a big win on the road. The Philly hadn't lost in like 21 games, Super Bowl champs. So, and it's a big win how you came back and won the game. You're down 18, and everyone was clutch in that game. Both sides of the ball was clutch, and hopefully it's something you can build on going forward. There are a couple things I'd like to see a faster start, but this game in particular, I wasn't so upset about it because it was just kind of one of those grinded out games that it was 10-3 going into half, and that's what I expected that. So, but I'd like to see Denver get out to a little faster start. That would be one. And you got to clean up these penalties. I know that there were some garbage penalties both ways, but some of these false start penalties and some things that you can control, you got to clean those up.
Agreed. The penalties, I'll agree with, need to be cleaned up. But as I went through this film, this tape, the way this team is coming together, the way that they're playing more cohesively, and quite honestly, maybe just getting a better grasp on this playbook. It's been a frustration of mine how slow we integrate through spring training our playbook, how it seems like even Sean Payton pointed it out, how we're only in phase 1. Everyone else is in phase 3 right now. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily good because it seems like we start off a little bit slow, but now it seems like everything's starting to click. The blocking looks cleaner from both the running and the passing side of things. Bo Nix looks more confident in the pockets that he's getting. He looks more confident in the looks he's getting downfield. The defense continues to kind of change and adapt and almost elevate themselves within that. So it's going to be fantastic to see this team continue. Now they got a tough week ahead of them. Get on that plane right after Philadelphia, head off to London to play a game overseas.
But I give Sean Payton a lot of credit. He put it right to him. This is a business trip. We're not going to sightsee. They're not really staying, from the reports, they're not staying downtown. We're going to go back to your motel room, and that's what it is. So, I mean, this is a business trip just like it was last week or last year when they went Tampa to the Jets and they stayed out there for 2 weeks. It was a business trip, and it paid off. And that's what I love about Sean Payton. Sean Payton, he's been around long enough, and he's said this, so I'm gonna take him at his word for this. This is one of his 7 best teams, and I think he's serious about that. And so I'll buy you a plane ticket in the off season, and you can go visit London if you want.
It's exactly where my mindset was as well. Jody, I love these breakdowns, man. We'll continue to do them, evolve them. Maybe we'll get even some more graphics going on, and maybe interject some of those stats that I said that I think we could miss out on. But we didn't miss out on Roy. He came in here late saying, "Hey there, guys," and we didn't miss out on Patrick's coming in saying "Aloha, boys" as well. So, Jody, are you going to be available Friday for a pregame?
I will not be around.
Who? All right, man. Well, then I'm going to put you on the spot before we get off the air, and then we'll sign us off. How you feeling about this Jets game, and can you give me a prediction before we get out of here? We'll get everybody else's on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast on Friday night, 7 p.m. Meet up there and drop your prediction in. But Jody, he's going to get his in tonight.
This has all the makings to be a trap game, but Sean Payton has eliminated a lot of the distractions and that type of stuff. With that being said, this is a game, just win, go out there, handle your business. The Jets are not good. Handle your business. And I have something in like 31-10 Denver.
I like that, man.
I'll throw one other thing, and we don't have to discuss it very long, that we didn't mention. Ben Powers going on IR. I mean, that's kind of a big thing. They say 2 months, torn bicep. It looks like Matt Parrott is going to be the guy to replace him. So, I mean, I like that move over Pachowski just because he's your big guy and packed. And when you bring in the extra guy, he's been in there. Don't disrupt that. And this is an audition. I mean, a lot of people are saying we'll move on from Powers because of the money and he didn't fit and blah, blah, blah. So this is an audition for Matt Parrott to go out there, and maybe we don't need to address this in the draft. He might be right here. So it's a little something to, keep an eye on, but it's not something that I'm overly worried about because we've seen both of these guys last year fill in, albeit at tackle, but they both filled in pretty well. And I'm not worried about that. So
I agree. I was nervous about a Palczewski. He came in last year, did really well. Matt Parrott, he's going to come in now. He's going to most likely take over that position. Those Sean Payton's like, we'll see. Not letting the cat out of the bag last time I heard. So we'll see. But either way, those guys playing tackle, moving into guard, I feel good about that transition for them and them being able to excel in that position.
And I feel good because of who he's got on his left side. I mean, Garrett Bowles is playing it at all pro level. He's playing it like he's the best tackle in football right now, the way he's doing everything. So I think the communication will be good there. And I don't really see it being a weak link, to be honest. I mean, we've said this for a couple, or I've said this for a couple of years. I've thought that O-line was one of the deepest positions on this team with Parrott and Pachewski. So this is why you're keeping those guys around for moments like this.
Absolutely. Hopefully they go out there and dominate like Jody is predicting. But if you want to get our predictions, come back Friday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. I'll be on here. My good friend Trevor will be breaking down the entire game as the Denver Broncos are over in London waiting to take on the New York Jets, man. Also, don't forget, directly after the game, we do live podcast on Monday morning. We come back 7 a.m. with the morning juice, go all around the NFL. And then, of course, this show right here, 7 p.m., breaking down our win, our loss. It's going to be a win this week, but our wins are our loss every single Wednesday. Keith Brugman, Jody the Judge Moncrief. But it is time to get out of here. We do this for an hour. Appreciate everybody that came in. Patrick Wiltsey that came in later. Roy Osborne that came in a little bit later. Pearl that's having issue over on YouTube. I might have shared too much NFL content. Maybe they don't like me because I was looking to that off to the side. I'll check that out. My good friend Phil McLaughlin, who came in, and Peter Johnson and Ernie Mays and Clayton. We appreciate everybody that's coming in, being a part of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. But we're going to get out of here this evening by saying, make sure you keep those boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course, the Denver Broncos in your heart. Until next time, we're out of here. Mile high salute. Let's go get that win. We'll be talking about it Friday.